This has been around for years. This has to do with the medical insurance. They used to call it the Obamacare, and now they call it marketplace insurance. This has been widely argued back and forth of how they're going to fund this. It currently is still funded through people with higher income. So if your income, if your wages are single head of household above 200,000, or if you're married family joint above 250, or estates and trusts above 15,000, you are paying an extra 3.8% to fund the marketplace health insurance. If your net investment income is above those same amounts, you're paying 3.8% extra Medicare tax. They call it Medicare tax to fund the marketplace health insurance. So currently still in place. Again, it's being widely contested right now. All right, this is new in 2025. If you buy a new car, you get to write off the interest now. So you can write up to $10,000 on a qualified car. Don't have to itemize, it's on Schedule 1. However, there's a lot of rules. It has to be domestically assembled car. That doesn't mean it has to be an American car, like what you might consider. It can be a Nissan, a Toyota, as long as it is made and assembled here in the US. That's what they mean by domestically assembled. It has to be for personal use, obviously, not business use. The loan has to be secured by the first lien on the vehicle. What that means, you can't buy it and then sell it to your daughter or son. So you have to be the first purchaser of that vehicle, and it has to be purchased in the current year. And then there's obviously an income phase out to 100 to 150 for single, 200 to 250 to married. But you can write off up to $10,000 in interest. All right. No tax on tips. So this is another one that just happened in the new bill. So you get up to $25,000 in tips that you got in 2025, not taxable. Again, obviously there's a lot of rules on this. With the new rules, you have to have a social security number, not an ITIN. About 10 years ago, they started issuing ITINs for certain people who couldn't get social security numbers. So you have to have a social security number to get this. And also they're excluding married filing separate. They're trying to reduce the number of people who file that way. No tax on overtime. The problem is they did not change the W-2s for this because overtime has historically never been on your W-2. And it didn't happen until July of 2025. So it was too late to go back and tell payroll companies they had to do this, and most payroll companies don't want to comply with this. The other big headache is at the bottom of this list. Overtime must meet federal labor standards over 40 hours. Now, anybody that's in certain unions pays over, some of them pay over 8 hours. Well, this is where the problem comes in. So if you're paid over 8 hours versus over 40 hours, technically your hours don't meet this requirement. How will we know this when we do a tax return? We won't. So this is where it's going to be a headache. So just as an example, our postal worker who does our mail at the office, she came in and said, I have over 5,000 hours of overtime, and I got a statement from the post office saying I only have 500 hours. That's, she's angry because it's different from what she thought it was going to be, and this is indicative of what we are going to see this tax season. The other thing is people think all my overtime is free of tax, and it's only the half. So if you're paid time and a half, it's really just the half is free of tax. It's the actual overtime, not the original hour. So again, people hear that and they think all my overtime is free.